What is up, Waffle Gang? I do hope you are well. My name is Mark, and today we're checking out some more r/AmITheA butthole. If you'd like to skip the initial waffle, timestamps are in the description and along the timeline below, so please feel free to use them. But if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too, as it massively helps out this channel, and I can never express that enough. But we did have some rejoins yesterday as well in the membership section. So we had Katie Smith rejoin us and Rebecca Ben Abraham. Thank you so much for your support, and for everyone for just taking 20 minutes or so, sometimes more, out of your day and being with the channel. It means the absolute world to me. And with that being said, let's get in to today's stories. Much love, guys. Now, our first story comes from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for being mad at my husband for spending $2,000 to rent a yacht for his best friend's welcoming party using the money I saved for our home renovation? I, female 34, am a nurse. I've been married to my husband Dale for 2 years. We bought a small house that we got for a reasonable price, however, it is in bad, no, miserable shape, and we moved in 9 months ago. I've been putting money in our joint account to try and renovate the house room by room. I was able to renovate the kitchen since it couldn't wait. It cost about $4,500. I'm currently saving up for the bathroom renovation. It's an utter mess, and so far I was able to save up $2,500. His salary isn't much. He can't help with renovations but still takes care of our daily expenses. Hope I made it clear here. Now the issue. Dale has a best friend who spent years overseas. They are very close, and since his friend told him he was coming home, Dale has been planning on having a welcoming party for him, along with the other guys in the group. Dale complained about wanting to do something special to welcome his friend home, but not having the money to do it. I gave him several ideas, but he still wanted to do something big. He asked about the bathroom renovation money and if he could use some of the money. We discussed it and told him that it's urgent to get the bathroom fixed. Told him I too don't get to buy things I want, but I am making sacrifices here, and he said he understood. Yesterday, I was checking the email and discovered that Dale had made reservations and rented a yacht for one day. The cost was about $2,000. The payment was done via our joint account, and I only got the notification hours later. I was shocked. I waited for him to come home and immediately asked him about the yacht. He said yes, he did rent a yacht to use for his friend's welcoming party. Said he picked the cheapest one. I was livid. I kept asking why he didn't tell me and why he thought this was okay. He said that I shouldn't be angry with him since he'll figure a way to pay me everything back in 4 months, meaning he'll pay me back $500 for 4 months. We began arguing and I told him to cancel the reservation, but he refused, saying that this is his childhood friend, so he's important to him. I yelled at him and insisted, but he said I was hurting his feelings and not understanding how important his friendship is and how excited he is to welcome his friend home. Said he already invited his friends and will be so embarrassed to cancel everything now. The argument got heated and I just packed my stuff after telling him he's unreasonable to spend months worth of saving on a party for one day, and he should be focusing on the house since we live in it, but he kept saying I'm selfish for still insisting he cancels the reservation and told me to be careful because he's feeling like I'm financially abusing him. Now, first thing I would say is obviously get separate accounts. I know it sounds a bit harsh, but I wouldn't trust anyone who feels that way, that's spending like $2,000 that when you're already saving on like a private yacht for a one-day party. It just doesn't make sense at all. I mean, it's clear where your priorities are. You've got this house that's, in vital need of repairs, and he's not willing to put in that money towards it. Obviously he can't, but he's wanting to spend your joint savings on that. And I'm not playing down because obviously he's putting money towards your living expenses, so he is contributing in some way. So I'm not putting that down, but there is priorities here, so absolutely not the arsehole in this case. But let's have a look at some of the comments to see what they say. With 5 Pink Toes saying, not the arsehole, I'd cancel the yacht, OP. Even if you have to take a hit from cancelling, part of the $2,000 is better than none of it back. And if you decide to not divorce your childish, self-centered, selfish, spendthrift husband, I strongly recommend you open a banking, checking and savings account in your name only and hide your passwords. And Ambitious says, what the fuck, how does he think this is okay? If he was able to save $500 a month to pay you back, he could have been doing that all along to add to the savings. And NYC says, in quotes, I was livid, I kept asking why he didn't tell me and why he thought it was okay. He said that I shouldn't be angry with him since he'll figure a way to pay me back everything in 4 months, meaning he'll pay me $500 back for 4 months. We begin arguing and I told him to cancel the reservation, but he refused. And then says, cancel the reservation, make separate home improvement accounts, pray your husband gets smarter. Not the arsehole, and quotes again saying, he kept saying I'm selfish for still insisting he cancels the reservation and told me to be careful because he's feeling like I'm financially abusing him. And then says, he is selfish and gaslighting you. He is abusing you. And then Terry says, not the arsehole, you need to close the joint account and start having separate finances. Your husband can't be trusted with your money. And James says, not the arsehole, what the hell is wrong with him? Absolutely not okay. And then tried to say you're financially abusing him. That's a low move. It's your money anyway. And now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys think of this situation and how would you deal with it? Would you consider leaving OP over this or not? Because I think the statement at the end about the abuse is very, very strong and it would put questions in my head for sure. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And our next story is from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for refusing to wear conservative clothes when my Indian roommate's parents visit? I live with Rani, name changed, who is Indian. We live in a small apartment together and attend the same university. We met 2 years ago and everything has been chill until tonight. I've never met her parents because they live a few states over and haven't been to our apartment to visit yet. They're coming over next weekend and Rani asked me to wear conservative clothing. I usually lounge around in shorts and a tank top, normal stuff. But she asked me to wear full pants and shirts just while they are there and even offered to buy me new clothes if I don't have any. She usually dresses the same way I do, isn't conservative at all, but said that if her parents ever find out that she even owns a pair of shorts, they might get her married off to someone and she'd have no choice but to comply with their wishes. She can't cut contact because she loves her family. She says if they see her roommate isn't conservative enough, they might move her back home and she'd have to quit going to school. I refuse because why should I change myself in my own house? She says it's only for a few days, but come on man, take them elsewhere. This is my home, right? She's being cold to me and keeps muttering that she expects me to be more understanding, but I don't see why she lets them dictate her life. I ran away from my own home and cut contact. I turned out fine. A bit in debt but alive, yeah. A different friend of mine who knows Rani too says I should just agree to what Rani wants and put up with it so Rani doesn't have to go through anything. I don't know what to do. Am I the arsehole if I refuse? Now, usually in this kind of situation, I would agree, your own house, your own rules. Obviously, you do something to accommodate guests to a certain point. But in this situation, you look at your roommate and look at the situation that roommate is in and have some compassion for them and, their future. Sure, you want what's best for them as well. And just changing your clothes to be more, air quotes, conservative for a couple of days isn't the biggest asking, is it? If it's going to save her future, if you know what I mean here. Sure, you don't have to and you have a right to that, but at the same time, have some empathy for this person, please. You could be doing them an absolute huge favour by the sounds of it. But let's check out some of the comments to see what they say. And we'll start with HeliBear90 saying, if it would cause her so much hassle that she would need to move out and get married off, why wouldn't you? It's only a few days and she even offered to buy you the clothes. I get what you're saying in principle, but to be honest, I think you're the arsehole. And W Love says, you don't seem to understand her family pressure, likely because you ran away, but this seems like a simple favour. If she's even offering to buy you clothes, it's obviously very important to her. A real friend wouldn't even hesitate to do this. It sounds like you are just rebelling against this fairly basic ask because you don't understand or believe that family is important. I find it very normal to be more respectful when I meet a friend's parents, especially when I know they are traditional or first gen. Think of what you are asking, what she is asking. You suggested she just cut ties with her family because you don't want to put pants on for a few days. You're the arsehole. And Traditional Ad said, yes, you're the arsehole. She's asking you to wear pants for a few days so she doesn't have to leave school to go into an arranged marriage. This is too much to ask of you. And Lumos says, you're the arsehole. You're willing to destroy her life because I don't want to change my clothes. You're right. You don't have to do anything. Just like if you see someone bleeding out on the side of the road, you don't have to do anything. I cannot fathom this level of self-centered narcissism. And Wholesome Well says, you're the arsehole, your roommate's life could be affected a lot more than yours, and you can joke about it afterwards. Make her buy the clothes she offered. And now I turn this one to you guys. What would you do in this situation if you put yourself in OP's shoes? How would you do? Would you change your clothes or not? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story is called, am I the arsehole for refusing to wear the bikini my mother bought me because it doesn't suit my personal grooming habits? For context, my 19 female mother, 44 female, has been trying to get me to dress more sexy for a while now, but it's just not my thing. I've told her this several times, but her response is always the same. I need to start dressing sexy like girls my age, otherwise I will get bullied at university. This is, of course, a load of bollocks. Not once have I been bullied for my unsexy fashion sense. Why would it start now? She got me a super skimpy swimsuit for Christmas, which pissed me off to no end, but I decided to grin and bear it for the sake of avoiding an argument. I would quietly pack it away and let it gather dust. It's not like I could wear it anyway, as I keep a full bush and the set she got me doesn't give enough coverage. Recently, we were going on a trip to the beach and I picked up my own bikini over my mother's. She asked me why I wasn't wearing the bikini she got me for Christmas. I said that I didn't want to. She blew up at me and called me ungrateful. I told her she needs to listen to me more and not buy things on my behalf just because she likes them. She asked me what was wrong with the set she got me. I told her that the bikini bottoms didn't have enough coverage. She told me I need to shave more often, but I stood my ground and told her that I like my pubic hair. She said I need to change my attitude towards grooming or my boyfriend will break up with me. I desperately wanted to tell her that I am sexually active. She just assumes that I am not because I am an introvert, and that my boyfriend loves my body the way it is, but this argument was taking place in the hallway, with my brother, 21 male, and sister, 23 female, hearing every word, and I was humiliated enough as it was. I was angry and upset and needed to vent, so I stormed off to my room and told them that I wasn't going. My mother's words really hurt and started to play on my mind, so I FaceTimed my boyfriend for some support. He was so sweet and reassuring. I was in tears when I rang, and his lovely words really cheered me up. I received 2 separate messages from my siblings. One from my brother asking if I was okay, and one from my sister calling me a bitch and siding with our mother. She told me she was only trying to help, and that I would be wise to listen to our mother every once in a while, rather than constantly going against the grain. She then followed up with a rather nasty word of advice regarding guys. Nobody likes a hairy vag. I am so confused right now. My brother and my boyfriend seem to be on my side, but my sister is pretty firmly on my mother's. Am I the arsehole here? Now let's face it, in this one, this is just absolutely none of your mother's, none of your sister's business whatsoever, so I don't understand why they're trying to get involved and trying to make you look sexy. You didn't have to do that for anyone, and they're absolutely out of line and crossing boundaries to be doing this, when you've told them no multiple times before as well. I just kind of don't get the logic on this one. I don't see why your mum thinks she needs to get involved in sort of your relationships and think you need to look sexy and all this kind of thing. It's absolutely quite creepy in some ways, but... Beautiful Concern says, not the arsehole. I've been with my husband 17 years and he's never had an issue with me having hair down there. I'm also a mother of 2 girls and can't imagine wanting them to dress more sexy. I want them to dress in a way that is true to who they are. Nobody is entitled to see any part of your body that you want to cover. And Bad B says, not the arsehole, your mother and your sister are both suffering from serious internal misogyny and taking it out on you. You can try telling them that any talk about your body or your clothes are now off limits, and if they can't follow those boundaries, limit the time you spend with them. You don't need to put up with their bullying. And Cannelloni Rule says, not the arsehole, why the hell is she so obsessed with your body in your downstairs situation? It's none of her business. She and your sister need to think about their own internalized misogyny, cliches, and stereotypes. You should dress however you feel comfortable. You should groom yourself however you please. If anybody has a problem with that, then that's their problem, not yours. You do you. And Mesmerizing Glow says, not the arsehole, your mother is being blatantly sexist. She also doesn't understand basic principles of society, such as you don't have to wear bikinis at all, and you don't have to come across in a sexy manner. You, on the other hand, are being forced into what sounds like an over-the-top bikini by a body-shaming parent. Your boyfriend and brother is the smart person here. Don't let her kid you into thinking you're a vagabond. With a caring BF like that, you've already done well enough. An A Math Magician says, first of all, as a university student, don't worry about being sexy. I see people show up in their pajamas. Second of all, not the arsehole, it's your body. It doesn't matter what other people think. You dress and groom your pubic hair the way you want, the way you are comfortable. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. Not your mum, sister, brother, or boyfriend. And now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys think of this situation? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story comes from La La Lady. Am I the arsehole for finding my own apartment instead of rooming with my friend again? Our lease is up in a month and we've talked about living together again. I kind of just want to find my own place and I thankfully have the means to do so. But I don't want to put her in a bad spot because she said she only has like $800 to her name right now. So we tentatively agreed to look for a place together. However, she can't go to any tours with me next weekend because she's going out of town to go skiing. In the meantime, I'm looking at both 2-bedroom apartments but also studio/1 bedrooms for myself. She said she would ask our landlord if we have to pay last month's rent, because she can't remember when they moved in if they paid that initially. I moved into an old roommate's room and just paid a security deposit, so I have no idea. This was 3 days ago. I texted her twice about it, yesterday and the day before, but she just ignored the question and went on about something else the first time, and then didn't even bother to reply the second time. At this point, I don't want to rush to find a 2-bedroom in a week with her because she isn't planning accordingly and isn't sharing important information with me, nor do I want to end up having to pay way more initially because she can't afford it. I'm scheduling showings for studios and 1-bedrooms now, and I'm just leaning towards getting my own place now. I'm going to tell her when she gets back from skiing. I just feel bad because she's my friend and I feel like I'm leaving her out to dry. Am I the arsehole for going my separate way? Edit. We have yet to put in a 30-day notice to the landlord, so I'm sure she could even renew with a new roommate. Now I'm going to tell you straight away, it said about the $800 thing and I thought, oh, that's a good friend, you know, having some empathy towards your friend and their situation and things. And then you went, oh, she got out of town skiing, and my empathy just went, it was gone. But what I would do is give her as much notice as possible, saying that you are moving out. Don't just leave her out to dry, because then I think that might be an arsehole move in that situation. But I think, you know, get your own place. Why the hell not, right? I'd prefer my own place rather than living with a roommate. Absolutely, if I could afford it, it'd be great. But Karu says, not the arsehole, she's only got 800 to her name, but it's a higher priority to go skiing than to find somewhere to live. Yep. So Valkyrie Mama says, not the arsehole for not wanting to live with her, but give her a heads up now. Is the ski trip being fully paid by someone else, or is she paying any part of it while complaining that she's too broke to live alone? And Les Fan Pie says, not the arsehole. You're not your friend's nanny or her mother. She needs to prioritize her future instead of having fun. And Sun One Bear says, not the arsehole. It seems like she isn't the most responsible of people. I think you'll be better finding a place for yourself. Can I ask, if she has money issues, how is she able to go skiing? And Chris says, not the arsehole for wanting your own place, but will this be news? And now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys think of this situation and how would you deal with it? Let me know in the comments below. And our final story is from Nothing Special About Me. Would I be the arsehole for telling my boss that my coworker outed me to a client? I, female to male trans man, have been working at my current job for about 2 years. I'm a caregiver. At my job, I have always been treated with respect by my coworkers and have never had an issue with people calling me the wrong pronouns or asking invasive questions. It's honestly the best job I've ever had. My coworker has taken some time off, so I've had to pick up some of her clients in her absence. Before she left for a trip, she gave me a phone call. During this phone call, she informed me that she told one of her clients my story because the client was female and didn't feel comfortable with a male caregiver. She also told 3 of the client's family members. She told them that I was transgender, female to male. She outed me to them. At first, I tried to brush it off. I told my husband about it later on, and he was immediately questioning the morality behind my coworker's decision to out me to a client and the client's family. He didn't think she had the right to tell them about my transition. I understand her intentions were to make the client feel comfortable though. I've been debating whether or not I should talk to my boss about it, but I don't want to come off as overly sensitive. My conservative sister said I'd be an arsehole for bringing it up because my coworker could get in serious trouble over a non-issue, and that let it all blow over. I don't want to make my coworker's life harder by coming forward about this, especially if it just makes me look like an arsehole. And we'll start with Old Forgotten Hall saying, not the arsehole for telling your boss. Outing someone is never appropriate, especially in the workplace, especially with violence against the trans community. Her outing can cause you direct harm. It's serious and she needs coaching from her superior at minimum to be sure she doesn't do this to anyone else. And Firefly says, not the arsehole, your boss needs to know. Also, the issue of clients being unhappy with male carers needs to be addressed. And Dying Supernova says, I'm in disbelief that someone would ever out someone else at all, despite how anyone else will fare or benefit from it. Not the arsehole. If they are okay with outing you, they should be okay with getting called in for a meeting with the boss. Captain Mal Forever says, not the arsehole. This is a serious breach of trust between you and the co-worker, as well as a possible legal issue within HR rules. It could negatively affect your work environment for you. Followed by Arthur Bird saying, not the arsehole, but do you have the kind of relationship where you can talk to your co-worker? If she is basically okay, can you just tell her not to out you ever? I always figure that talking to the co-worker is the first step if possible. It doesn't get someone in trouble if it was just a stupid mistake. Then if you need to go to your boss, you can say, co-worker did this and when I asked her to stop she continued, which is a stronger case. OP replies saying she won't be back from her trip for 2 more weeks, so I haven't been able to talk to her. The conversation happened on her last day before the trip. I feel pretty dumb for not confronting her the moment it happened, but as I said, I tried to brush it off. I'm a bit of a pushover and tried to cater to people's feelings. I didn't want to make her feel bad for it, but then again, she didn't seem to think what my feelings would be when she told the client and her family. Talking to my husband really made me think twice about all of this. And now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys think of this situation and how would you deal with it? Let me know in the comments below. Now once again guys, thank you for being here today. I hope you did enjoy today's stories, and if you did, you know what to do. Hit that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too, as I cannot express once again how much that really does help out our channel. And if you want to support the channel further, you absolutely can, but never any pressure to do so by clicking that join button down below for YouTube membership, or go into the description and clicking the link for Patreon and joining up there. It is very much appreciated, very helpful, but as I said, no pressure. And just a huge thank you for taking 20 minutes out of your day and spending it with me. It means the absolute world. And I will see you in the next one. Take care guys. Much love.